Breaking news. Well, somewhat breaking, I guess, because the 49ers have made a roster move. And no, it's not tight end Brock Wright. Brock Wright went back to the Lions, unfortunately, but they made a move right after that to go out and get running back Patrick Taylor, former running back for the Green Bay Packers. Now, obviously, coming from a LaFleur system, you know he's going to be able to fit what the San Francisco 49ers do. But let's take a look a little bit at where he's come from and if this will be a guy that could make an impact or even make the roster overall for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, looking at his size, 6'3, 217 pounds. So he's a bigger style running back. And to be honest, this is a guy that I have actually watched prior to this signing because of my dabblings in dynasty football. And as being an Aaron Jones owner, and Aaron Jones is constantly hurt, you have to keep tabs on all their backups. So Emmanuel Wilson was someone that I knew. Patrick Taylor was another. And to be honest, I thought Patrick Taylor showed a ton of flashes of ability. Now, he didn't get a lot of snaps, he didn't get a lot of run with this team. I mean, if you just look at what he did last year, I mean, he really did it. He didn't play at all between weeks through 5 and 12 with the Green Bay Packers. But in last season, he did put up 240 total snaps, and he was able to do some decent things, but honestly, just just didn't really get the opportunity to do much of anything in regards to a production standpoint. I mean, he had 32 carries, 141 yards, uh, a pretty decent average of 4.4 a clip. That's not bad, but a relatively small sample size. But like I said, he's a bigger back that does move pretty well for his size. Just hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities. He entered the league in 2020 as an undrafted free agent. And, you know, like I said, the most snaps that he played was actually last season. And he had to play to kind of spell Aaron Jones at times, who was often injured. But again, just still didn't get all that much opportunities. He's played in 34 games throughout his career, but he's only had 65 carries for 261 yards and one touchdown over his 3 year career in Green Bay. So he obviously was free to sign. The 49ers pick him up. How does he fit into this group? I mean, we knew the 49ers needed another option at running back with McNichols signing elsewhere. TDP is no longer on the roster. And you are looking at a running back room of Christian McCaffrey, who, of course, is extremely top heavy, but also to understanding that you do have Elijah Mitchell and you also have Mason, Jordan Mason on the roster as well. So, all things considered, first of all, he has a shot to be the fourth running back on the team. But I also think when you look at the overall roster construction, this is pretty typical when I think the 49ers are angling for potentially drafting a running back because like let's use last year for example. They traded for Zane Gonzalez, a kicker from the Carolina Panthers with a late round seventh round pick swap, right? So they go out and they filled that hole. Robbie Gould wasn't going to return. They go out and they trade for a kicker to give the illusion that they have a kicker, but that still didn't stop them from drafting Jake Moody in the third round. And so the way that I kind of look at this signing is they needed to fill that hole. They needed at least four somewhat competent running backs in that room. And I think he fits that mold of being a guy who could absolutely make an NFL roster and even contribute if needed and play special teams if that is required of him. But I think it also too kind of speaks to how the 49ers could absolutely be in the market for a running back in this upcoming draft. And I know I can see a lot of you right now. Your eyes are rolling in the back of your head because of the recent history of TDP and Trey Sermon. You can even go back to Joe Williams when the 49ers took him in 2017 in the fourth round, I believe it was. They haven't had a lot of success at the running back position outside of Elijah Mitchell, who's a sixth-round draft pick, and then Jordan Mason, who's an undrafted free agent. But I could see the 49ers going back to the well and potentially maybe taking another third or fourth round running back. I'm just, hey, don't shoot the messenger. I could just see it as a potential for them to do so. And listen, there are some quality running backs in this class that I think would fit really well. I mean, if you could get Jalen Wright out of Tennessee in the second, third, fourth round, he to me is starting upside as a running back. Even Blake Corum, I think, could be a really good running back in the league. Um, so there are potentials that the 49ers could take a player. Maybe they push and they don't try to get a running back early. Maybe they take one of the Louisville running backs later. But I do see a world that does exist where the San Francisco 49ers look to add a running back via the draft. And again, you could go Ray Davis out of Kentucky later. There are some definite options where you can just keep pushing the running backs down the list. Of course, fan favorite Frank Gore Jr. could be an option for some people, but we'll see if he is an option ultimately for the 49ers. But I, I do think there is an option here for the 49ers to go running back in the draft. Just using my foresight, looking ahead. Obviously, this signing fills a depth role needed. He can be a contributor. He can be rostered. He does have some quality traits to him. Still relatively young. He's going to be 26 years old here in a couple months. So, hey, it's not a crazy exciting signing. I guess it's something after the 49ers missed out on Brock Wright. But again, we are at, I think, the portion of like the lingering parts of free agency where the 49ers are just backfilling any perceived holes with depth pieces so that when they head into the draft, they feel that they can go out and target who they want, where they want, when they want, and not have to be pigeonholed into like, wow, we really don't have a guy here at this spot. We have to take this position here. So we'll see how it plays out. But let me know what you guys think about this move in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.